The food that built civilizations might also be part of the global weight of the modern world. Quick heads up. By the end, you'll know how to spot breads that actually nourish and which ones are just fluff. Stick around for simple, practical picks you can use today. Right now, millions of us are carrying more weight than our grandparents ever did. In 2022, an estimated 2.5 billion adults were overweight, and almost 890 million of them were living with obesity. Globally, obesity has exploded in recent decades. More than 1 billion people now live with obesity. Those are not just numbers. They're the backdrop to every loaf we buy and every sandwich we eat. Quick poll for you. What's your favorite pizza? Pasta? And what bread can you not live without? Hold that thought. We'll come back to it. Here's the twist. Bread used to taste like the field it came from. Not like factory white loaves that puff up and vanish on your tongue, but dense, nutty sour breads made from whole grains, slow fermented with wild yeast. In old villages, bread was literally ground and baked the same day. The flour still wore the bran and germ, the parts full of fibre, minerals and oils. That earthy loaf kept people nourished. Then, with industrial milling and modern taste preferences, something changed. Flour lost parts of itself, and with them, a lot of nutrition. Historically, not all bread was benign. In some eras, due to bad storage, contaminated grain, or economic cruelty, whole batches of bread made people sick. Fungal toxins like ergot and spoiled grain could cause mass illness. Sometimes rulers rationed poor quality bread to the poor. Bread wasn't always comfort food. Sometimes it was a tool of power, scarcity, and disease. History can be both cozy and cruel. Modern white flour is the product of milling that strips away bran and germ, leaving only the starchy endosperm. That gives lighter texture and longer shelf life, but it also removes fibre, B vitamins, minerals, and antioxidant compounds. After milling, manufacturers often enrich white flour by adding back a handful of vitamins, but the original balance and fibre are gone. Bleached flours are further treated to change colour and baking properties. The result? Bread that's soft, fast, and calorie-dense. And, in excess, one contributor to rising blood sugar and weight gain. Let's talk gluten. Gluten is the protein that helps bread stretch and rise. For most people, gluten is harmless. But for about 1% of the population, celiac disease means gluten triggers an autoimmune attack that damages the small intestine. Another group, perhaps a few percent more, experience non-celiac gluten or wheat sensitivity with digestion, fatigue, or brain fog symptoms. So gluten isn't poison for everyone, but it can be serious for some. Also, highly refined breads are quick carbs. They spike blood sugar more than whole grain, fibre-rich breads, which matters for diabetes, risk and weight. 1. Seed and field. Farmers plant wheat varieties chosen for climate, yield or baking quality. Wheat grows, is harvested when the grain is ripe and dried. Many top wheat-growing regions today include China, India, Russia, the United States and parts of the EU. 2. Threshing and cleaning. Grain is separated from stalks, cleaned of stones and debris, then stored in silos. 3. Milling. Kernels are milled. Whole grain milling keeps bran plus germ plus endosperm. Refined milling removes bran and germ and leaves the endosperm, white flour. Milling may include sifting, roller mills, and sometimes bleaching or chemical treatments for consistency. 4. Blending and enrichment. Flour is blended and sometimes enriched with vitamins and minerals to replace some lost nutrients. 5. Bakery. Bakers mix flour with water, salt and yeast or sourdough starter. Kneading develops gluten structure. Fermentation, fast commercial yeast or slow sourdough, affects flavour and digestibility. Proofing allows dough to rise. 6. Baking. Heat sets structure and browns the crust. Maillard reactions produce aroma and colour. 7. Cooling, slicing and packaging. After baking, loaves are cooled, then sliced and packaged to protect freshness and texture before they move on. 9. Your table. How you eat it matters. Whole grain, sourdough and sprouted breads deliver more fibre, slower digestion and more nutrition than white, highly processed buns or donuts. Moderation and quality are key. Slow fermentation, sourdough, partially breaks down gluten and some fermentable carbs, often improving flavour and, for some people, digestibility. Whole grain or sprouted breads keep fibre and micronutrients, slow glucose spikes and fill you up longer. In short, not all breads are the same. Choosing whole, minimally processed bread changes the metabolic math. Not magic, but real. Here's the real link. Patterns heavy in sweet pastries, sugary drinks and supersized portions push calories higher than we burn. Over time, that pattern, not a single food, raises risk for overweight and type 2 diabetes. Swap frequency and context. Choose whole or sprouted bread more often. Pair it with protein and fibre and keep portions reasonable. Bread isn't the culprit by itself. The way we eat it and what we eat with it makes the difference. Wheat production, the raw material for most bread, is concentrated in a few big players. China and India top the list, followed by Russia, the United States and major EU producers such as France. Those countries shape global grain markets and the kinds of bread most of us eat. Prefer whole grain, sprouted or sourdough when you can. Read labels. Enriched white flour means nutrients were stripped and partly added back, still low in fibre. Treat treats, donuts, sweet buns as occasional pleasure. They're concentrated sugar, plus refined carbs. If you have unexplained digestive issues, see a doctor. Get tested for celiac before trying a gluten-free diet. If bread once tasted like the field it came from, why did we trade those earthy loaves for the pillowy white sandwich? Convenience, economics and taste shape that change. But the 21st century twist is that we now understand how those choices ripple through population health. The next time you tear into a slice, ask, did this loaf travel the world, or was it born that morning from a local grinder and wild yeast? Thanks for watching. If this peek behind the crust made you think, hit like, subscribe and share. And tell me in the comments, what's the one bread you can't live without? I'll read them and maybe bake one on camera.